Welcome, everyone. Thank you for joining us again. I'm Lindsay Pasuti, the Executive Director of the Perry Chamber of Commerce. So today we're going to give a little reintroduction to the Ambassador Program. I say reintroduction because, this is really a reboot of the program. We've put it on pause for the last year for various reasons, but we really found that because of putting that on pause, it reinforced the understanding that we as a chamber, the organization, we really need that robust group of volunteers to support what we do, support our members and our community, but ultimately that people in our community are looking for meaningful ways to get back and support each other, give back and be involved and make those connections, especially in this past year of not being sure of, how often you're going to get out and about and things like that. So we're really excited to reboot this program. Thank you for your interest and taking part in this info session, but really just thank you for everything that you do here in our community. So again, if you're just joining us, we are live streaming to our Facebook member group, and this will be recorded. So if you want to check on it later, if you want to send it to someone, you sure can get the recording later. So here we go. Okay, so the big question is, do you enjoy volunteering? Do you take pride in celebrating the successes of area businesses? Or do you want to connect with your community members to build a strong business network? So my guess is if you answered no, you are just somehow happen to tune in and you don't actually think that you're in the right spot here. But the chance of you saying yes to any of these three questions, I think is pretty high. If you're already a chamber member, if you are an active member in the community, or you're looking to get involved. So this is really an opportunity to have a rewarding volunteer experience that gives you the opportunity to celebrate business growth in Perry, support the chamber with your times and your talents, and expand your business potential through networking. So really all three of those points right there, whether it's one or the other or all of the above, that gives you an opportunity to do just that. So real quick, just background about the chamber. A lot of this you probably already know in terms of why we exist, what we set out to do, and ultimately what our goals are, how we envision the impact that we make as an organization. And so, there's so many different ways that you can get involved in the community with other service organizations, with your business or organization already. But really being involved with the Perry Chamber, it's more about the network and the full support that we provide to our community with events, with promoting businesses, and then building community. So it's really an opportunity to be a part of a leading organization in Perry and to further your impact. So when we think about what a Perry Chamber Ambassador is, really it boils down to you're fun, you're enthusiastic, you're energetic, you know a little bit about the chamber, you know about the community, you want to give back, and you're really looking to up your game to be an official representative of the chamber, to reach out there and be more visible in the community. But really it's a critical link with the chamber as an organization and the board, the members, and then the community at large. So if you, again, see yourself anywhere here, I think you're in the right place. As far as eligibility goes, this is relatively new. So normally I talked a little bit about new and improved program. So one thing that we did before is as long as you were a member of the chamber, you could be an ambassador. It was a way to, one step further to be involved. Now what we're doing with our eligibility is saying that anyone can join as an individual member and become an ambassador. So this part is new. This is probably the newest when we're talking about the new features for the program. So the eligibility is $50 per year for that individual ambassador membership. So if you're saying, hey, I'm already a chamber member, what gives? This is, once again, a way to shift your involvement from passive in terms of, yeah, I'm a member, I'm on the directory, I get the membership perks, I show up to things, but maybe not. This, as an individual, is an opportunity for you to take a step further. So it is an investment on the individual level. And so it can be sponsored by that member business or organization. So if you have multiple employees and you really want to have a larger presence in the community, this is a way to push your employees out there and to get involved. So a member business can sponsor that ambassador so that it's not a personal investment. But even if you're not involved with a local business or organization, maybe you're retired, maybe you work elsewhere, but you want to give back. For whatever reason, you could also be that individual ambassador and have that individual commitment. So I kind of think about it like for the cost of a nice dinner date, or you're purchasing something to spruce up your wardrobe or your decor. For me, going to the coffee shop, I'm a regular, and getting treats, that's just a week or two's worth of coffee and things. If you're going to the movie theater and bringing your whole family, $50 is an investment, but it really is not too much when you break it down and think about all of the benefits that go along with it. So again, that's per year. So compared to the other memberships, where for a civic organization it's $150, for a small business $250, a larger business $350, and we've got our chamber champions as well. So just a side note there. So pretty small level of impact there, or in terms of investments, but major gains otherwise. So you might be thinking, what's the difference between a board member and ambassador? You might remember us asking for nominations in the past. What does that look like? So really quickly, just breaking down the very quick difference. So the board of directors, there are 10 to 12. That's in our bylaws. It's our governing body. It's a representation of the membership as a whole, making decisions for the organization. So those are the fiduciary duties, not only financially, but making sure that the organization is on track. And then sticking with the board meetings and serving on committees. So those members are nominated by the membership and voted upon. And so it's just kind of a more formal process to be on the board of directors. And like I said, it's 10 to 12 board members, 3-year term. So it is kind of limited as far as who can be involved with that. And it's a longer term commitment. So when we're thinking about ambassadors, if you're wanting to dip your toe in to be more involved, or you want to keep it casual, this is a really good opportunity so that, it's just a year. It's that individual membership. Like I said, you're involved with the community, you're getting out and volunteering, but you don't have to bore yourself with all of the business stuff and all of the big decisions and things like that. You can just show up and have fun and be a part and make a big difference. So I just wanted to throw this in there just because there could be some question for people, because this is still relatively new for Perry Chamber. So I talked a little bit about benefits already, but really talking about, why do this? So it's a cost to you as an individual or an added cost to you as a business. You've already paid your membership. Why would you want to take this next level? So in my opinion, this is really about that increased visibility. So if you're a member, you're already getting the bare minimum, but this is really having that face to a name and getting out there in the community. So if you're volunteering, you're out there and you're interacting with people, you're interacting with other businesses, and people get to know who you are. So you're increasing your visibility, also your credibility. Hey, you're someone that really shows up and is willing to be there for the community. There's an opportunity to improve your leadership skills. So if you're wanting to get out there and take on a new role with event planning or managing different pieces, this is a great opportunity to help with that. And same goes with knowledge of the business community. This is a way to get to know more people and get out there. So you're strengthening your network by getting out there, getting to know more people, getting recognized in the community. But also I think community pride is a big piece of that too. So we've gone over the costs and the benefits, but what are some strings attached, you might say? So when we're talking about duties and responsibilities, There's kind of a lot of words on here, but ultimately you're there to promote the community, to promote the chamber, be a representative of the organization at functions and at events. Ultimately, you're there to support the chamber staff. We're a really small staff, 1.5, maybe a summer intern, maybe if we're lucky. But it's really a matter of making a larger impact and making sure that those member benefits go beyond what our capacity here is in the office, and really supporting that so that we can do more for our community, for our members. Helping get people excited and engaged. So, hey, bring a friend or get the word out there in other ways, in other circles. So it's all a matter of enhancing what we're already doing, leaning on our friends to help us out with things. But then I've also put on there that, meeting and exceeding the minimum requirement of quarterly activity points. So that's something we'll talk a little bit more about, just so that it's not like I signed up for this thing, but I don't actually show up. There's this extra layer of really making sure you follow through. So there is a little catch. But like I said, just really showing up and getting ready to do things. So those requirements, I like to think of this as it's an honor and a privilege to be an ambassador. You get a name badge and you get maybe a volunteer shirt. I'm wearing it today because it's Farmers Market Day. This is from a couple years ago, and so I'm really excited to get some new chamber apparel for ambassadors once we get everyone set and ready to go. But with that responsibility and the commitment comes rewards. So when we're talking about what the requirements are, we're also talking about what are you getting out of it and what's the incentive to do so. So in terms of the requirements, we're setting it as a minimum of 5 points per quarter, or 20 per year. You can do the math, 5 times 4 is 20. So in case you're really busy in the summer, you can make up for it throughout the end of the year. It's not required to do it in all 3 categories, but this is how we've broken it down. Attending meetings and networking events, volunteering at events and chamber functions, and then engaging in member recruitment and retention activities. So, showing up to ambassador meetings, going to a committee meeting if you're on a committee to plan an event or a new initiative. Showing up to chamber coffees, ribbon cuttings, how easy is that? Hey, you get a point. That's all you need to do. As far as volunteering at events, some of our events are short, some of them are long. So, getting points for your hours of service there. So we've got Burr, Bike Ride to Rippey, our annual dinner, 4th of July. I mentioned the Farmers Market today, but we've also got the Chocolate Walk and Friday Fest and Spooktacular Lighted Parade. We've got something going on every single month. So there is really 5 points per quarter. It's kind of silly to set it so low, but we want to have this available for everyone to be active in that way. We could adjust that over the years, but this is where we've set it for now. And I see Courtney nodding because she's been an ambassador and is now a board member. But yeah, it's pretty easy to show up and if your schedule allows, and be visible and be a part of it. And then last I mentioned the engage in member recruitment. This is a little bit new, but again, making those connections with other chamber members and helping support the organization as a whole. This isn't going to be something super strict. Ambassadors can track their own points, report them on a monthly basis, so it's not something to be scared of. It's just something simple and kind of as a minimum. As far as, why track these points, we will do a monthly rewards. So those that get the most points, so and beyond the bare minimum, we will reward with some chamber bucks, Perry bucks, and so that's a chance to give back and keep that money local and keep on going with that too. And so then with that, we also have the annual award for Ambassador of the Year. And so that's something that we've had for, I think officially 1 year, because then with the pandemic and canceling our annual dinner, putting the program on pause, I think if I'm remembering correctly, my brain can get fuzzy sometimes. We've actually only technically had 1 Ambassador of the Year, but that's soon to change because we're rebooting this program. We want you to be a part of it. And this is just one perk that you can be a part of it. If you're into awards and trophies and, you know, things like that, this is one way to do it. So our annual dinner in April, side note, we do have one for October, but this will really get started here. So I get sidetracked pretty easily, but anyway, okay, this is all well and good. I get the gist of it. What are the next steps, or how do I make this official? So we have an application. This is for a 1-year term. Like I said, it's pretty easy. It's not 3 years. It's not very extensive. But really what we're asking you is, are you wanting to do this? Some very simple contact information. And just in a paragraph for us to get to know you a little bit better, you know, how are you involved now and what are you looking forward to with the program? It helps us just get to know you better and kind of have that on file as well. We also have a code of conduct. I didn't put this on there for you to read everything. It's just showing you what it looks like. It looks really formal and maybe a little scary to some people, but it's pretty self-explanatory in terms of behaving professionally when you represent the chamber. Don't do anything illegal, you know, things like that, where it's just kind of, I mean, you could, but just not on our time, I guess. Side note. But, you know, I'm just saying in terms of the respect and the, you know, this is a privilege, so appreciate it as well. That code of conduct, which would be the same for a board member as well, with conflicts of interest or confidentiality. Pretty simple stuff there. And then here is our agreement for the commitment. So when we're talking about this really boils down to, you know, you understand the purpose of the program, you agree to be a part of it for a year, you know that you're going to be a representative of the organization, and then just kind of checking the boxes as far as, yes, you know that there are minimum requirements for participating. So staying up to date with the chamber happenings and attending those functions as a representative, keeping track of your points, that sort of thing. So again, lots of writing. I don't expect you to read it right now, but when you get more information from us, you can read through it and you'll know nothing in there is scary or news really at this point. So I think really all that's left is apply. So it's apply might be a scary word for people, but really it's just sign up. You know, you can enjoy the long-lasting rewards, increasing your visibility, strengthening your connections in the community, accessing a wealth of knowledge and information that we have, all the resources here at the chamber, and growing your network, plus all the feel-goods of making a difference in your community, being involved, volunteering, whatever box you checked at the beginning, then said yes to, this is a chance to be a part of it. So you get recognized for your efforts, you get a chance to receive monetary rewards with those Perry bucks, which you can spend locally, and I'm sure you don't have to even tell you how to do that because you already do that as a great ambassador already. So it really is a win-win for you, the chamber, your organization, and the business that you represent, as well as the whole community. So if you need our phone number, where we're located, I think you already know, and how to contact us, feel free to do so.